Have you ever promised yourself, this is the last time, the last cigarette, the last hour of scrolling, the last time staying up until 3 in the morning, the last piece of junk food, the last excuse, and yet, somehow, the next day, you do it again? Why? Why do intelligent people, people who genuinely want to change, keep repeating the same habits they hate? For a long time, I thought it was because they lacked discipline. The more I learned about psychology, the more I realized that's probably one of the biggest myths we've ever been told. Your brain doesn't actually care about making you successful. It cares about keeping you efficient. Think about it. Every decision you make costs energy. What to eat, what to wear, which route to take, who to text. If your brain had to consciously think through every tiny decision, you'd be exhausted before lunch. So instead, it automates them. That's what habits are. Tiny programs your brain writes, so it doesn't have to think anymore. That's why bad habits feel so automatic. Not because they're stronger than you, because your brain has practiced them hundreds, sometimes thousands of times. Eventually, it stops asking for permission. You don't decide to check your phone. You just find yourself holding it. There's a famous idea from Atomic Habits. People think they rise to the level of their motivation, but in reality, we usually fall to the level of our systems. Read that again, because it's one of the most important ideas in self-improvement. Imagine two people. Both want to stop eating unhealthy food. The first fills their kitchen with chips, cookies, and soda. The second simply never buys them. Who do you think succeeds? It's not because one has stronger willpower. It's because one removed the temptation before it became a decision. Environment beats willpower more often than we'd like to admit. Think about your own room. What's the first thing you see when you wake up? Your phone, your gaming setup, your TV remote. Your brain notices whatever's obvious. Psychologists call this cue-dependent behavior. Habits begin with cues. Remove the cue, and the habit becomes much harder to perform. Here's something fascinating. Researchers have found that people who appear to have incredible self-control actually experience fewer temptations. Not because they're superhuman, because they've designed environments where they don't have to keep resisting. They don't fight temptation every hour. They avoid creating it in the first place. There's another trick that sounds almost too simple to work. Make the bad habit inconvenient. Want to stop scrolling? Charge your phone in another room. Want to eat less junk food? Don't leave it on the kitchen counter. Want to play fewer video games? Unplug the console after every session. The more friction you add, the less likely your brain is to choose the habit automatically. Sometimes, adding 10 seconds of effort is enough to interrupt an automatic behavior. But breaking habits isn't only about making bad ones harder. It's about making good ones easier. Want to read more? Leave the book on your pillow. Want to exercise? Sleep in your workout clothes? Want to drink more water? Keep a bottle on your desk. Our brains naturally choose the path of least resistance. So make the right path the easiest one. There's another mistake almost everyone makes. They focus on goals. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to stop procrastinating. I want to become productive. Goals matter, but they only tell you where you're going. Systems determine whether you actually get there. I think this is where most people become discouraged. They fail once and immediately think, I guess I'm just not disciplined. But one mistake doesn't erase 50 good decisions. Missing one workout doesn't make you unhealthy. Reading one less page doesn't make you lazy. Progress isn't destroyed by one bad day. It's destroyed when one bad day convinces you to quit. There's something psychologists call an implementation intention. It's incredibly simple. Instead of saying, I'll work out tomorrow, you say, tomorrow at 6 p.m. after work, I'll go to the gym. Your brain responds much better to specific plans than vague intentions. The clearer the plan, the more likely you'll follow through. And here's the biggest lesson I've learned. Breaking a habit isn't about becoming a different person overnight. It's about casting votes. Every small action is a vote for the kind of person you want to become. One healthy meal isn't life-changing. One workout isn't life-changing. One day without mindless scrolling isn't life-changing. But hundreds of tiny votes eventually become your identity. I don't think people fail because they're weak. I think they fail because they're trying to fight their own brain instead of understanding how it works. Your brain isn't your enemy. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do. Repeat what feels familiar. Avoid unnecessary effort. Save energy. Once you understand that, you stop blaming yourself and you start designing your life differently. Maybe that's the real secret. Don't ask, how do I become more disciplined? Ask, how do I make the right choice, the easiest choice? Because habits aren't built in moments of motivation. They're built in ordinary moments, repeated over and over again. And one day, without even realizing it, the things that once required discipline simply become who you are.